Today, modern man especially needs high-quality products and vitamins and minerals from food. Since eating habits leave much to be desired, stress, diseases, and a bad environment affect our body in a negative way. And that's why nutrition experts have developed a list of foods that need to be included in our diet every day to keep our body in a healthy state. So watch this video to the end. In it I will give very interesting and useful information. So let's go. By the way, friends, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell too. Do not miss my new products. So, the first product that needs to be consumed every day is whole grain cereals. This means, of course, it is whole grain, not processed, not ground rice, not instant oatmeal, but whole unprocessed grain. Such cereals will be an excellent source of complex carbohydrates, extremely valuable fiber, vitamins and minerals. Whole grain cereals improve the functioning of our gastrointestinal tract, our cardiovascular system very well, and, in general, provide our body with everything necessary. Which cereals will be the most useful? This is buckwheat porridge, oatmeal, pearl barley, and brown rice can also be attributed here, namely brown rice, and not its other representatives. Although for me personally, buckwheat porridge is an absolute favorite. I use it every day. Let's move on. The next item is fermented milk products. Here I must say there is a certain nuance. The fact is that fermented milk products, of course, contain casein. This is milk protein. And some people have casein intolerance. It can be both open and hidden. Mind you, I'm not talking about lactose. Lactose, in principle, is not recommended to use. I'm not talking about milk, because the milk that is sold in our supermarkets is obtained from cows that are pregnant in 70% of cases, and this milk contains a large amount of estradiol. And of course, it is simply impossible to eat it. Therefore, I am talking exclusively about fermented milk products. Yogurts, kefirs, cottage cheese, cheese. And in the event that we do not have casein intolerance, some people have this problem. So, it is recommended to consume high-quality fermented milk products every day, but in small doses, because in too large quantities, it can already have the opposite effect. So, fermented milk products saturate our body with calcium. Here again, you need to make an excuse if we eat exclusively low-fat, 0-1% fat cottage cheese. Then calcium from such cottage cheese will practically not be absorbed. In addition to calcium, fermented milk products will restore our intestinal microflora, strengthen the immune system. Because the immune system is directly tied to our intestines, improve the functioning of our digestive canal, and also provide our body with the necessary amino acids. So now about the standards. An adult needs to consume no more than 500 milliliters of kefir or natural yogurt per day. There's another caveat, there are a lot of nuances with sour milk in general. This means real, live kefir or yogurt. Not the one we bought in the supermarket, not the one that was produced at the factory, with the addition of preservatives or starch in general. Yes, if we read the composition in some yogurts, starch is very often written there. What does starch do there if it's milk? Where does the starch in milk come from? And very simply, starch is a universal thickener, and it is often added to simplify and reduce the cost of production. So, real yogurt and kefir ideally need to be prepared independently, by a separate starter. And make it at home either on the windowsill, or on the battery, or if there is a yogurt maker. And if we are talking about cottage cheese or cheese, then it is necessary to consume no more than 200 grams per day. Again, this does not mean that 200 grams of cheese a day is normal. No, it's still a bit much. No more than 200 in one day. And no more than 500 milliliters of kefir and yogurt in one day, but more often, of course. You need to eat and drink less than this amount. Let's move on. The next item is legumes. This will include peas, chickpeas, lentils, beans. Legumes are one of the most useful types of products. They improve the functioning of our brain, reduce permanent microinflammations, contain fiber, normalize intestinal microflora. As well as legumes among plant sources are champions in protein. But again, a measure is needed here, as in any other case. If we eat a huge plate of beans or peas every day, then our stomach can get sick, and the intestines can throw out excess gases. Therefore, it is still recommended to eat no more than 50 grams of dry product per day. And evaluate your individual reaction. If your stomach reacts badly to legumes, then it means that you do not need to force yourself. But as a rule, a small amount of legumes does not bring any problems. Let's move on. The next item is leafy greens. Generally speaking, leafy greens are also an extremely useful thing, and it would be a very good habit for each of us to cook various leafy salads for ourselves. Leafy greens normalize our blood formation very well, heals our skin, hair and nails, strengthens our immune system, improves the digestive tract. And another interesting thing is that it lowers our blood pressure. And there are, by the way, different options. You can prepare a leaf salad for yourself, or you can prepare a smoothie for yourself. This is such a new fashionable phenomenon. Because if a solid amount of greens can be quite lazy to chew, and it takes a long time, and takes a lot of effort, then you can make it easier to prepare a smoothie for yourself. Throw the leafy greens into a blender, add another component to taste, and drink it in the form of a cocktail. Delicious and healthy. Let's move on. The next item is green tea. I must say that many nutritionists consider green tea to be the most useful drink in principle. Much more useful than black tea, or even more so coffee. And the thing is that green tea contains a very good dose of antioxidants, the very substances that fight the negative effect of free radicals. Also, green tea tones up well, rejuvenates, improves our digestion, and is a prevention of cancer. And what is interesting, and if we do not add sugar there, but still it is recommended not to add sugar to tea. It contains an absolutely ridiculous amount of calories. 100 milliliters of ready-made green tea will contain 3 kilocalories. But even here, of course, it is necessary to know the measure. Experts do not recommend consuming more than 750 milliliters of green tea a day, because green tea still has caffeine. By the way, green tea has more caffeine than black tea, about 1.5 times, although it is still less than coffee. So, excessive caffeine consumption will negatively affect the work of our nervous system, can worsen our sleep, increase excitability and irritability, and it can also be harmful to the heart and musculoskeletal system. Let's move on. The next item is vegetables. And I must say that there are a lot of vegetables, and it is recommended to eat at least 2 servings a day. This can include asparagus, peppers, carrots, beets, corn, onions, garlic, zucchini, tomatoes, cucumbers, cruciferous and so on. Of course, it is recommended to provide variety, that is, not every day there is only cabbage and carrots, but to vary and try different options. But eating 2 servings of any vegetables every day will be very useful for us. For example, carrots are an excellent source of beta-carotene, which is a material for the production of vitamin. Tomatoes contain lycopene, which is very useful for our heart. Cruciferous tomatoes are a good source of vitamin C and potassium. And according to recent studies, cruciferous tomatoes, especially broccoli, are a good prevention of cancer. Bulgarian pepper contains a huge amount of vitamin C. Garlic contains allicin, a very useful antibacterial and antiviral agent. Also, garlic is also a prevention of oncology. Onion improves brain activity and strengthens the immune system. And of course, almost all vegetables contain fiber. As I have said many times, an adult healthy person needs to consume 30 grams of fiber per day. By the way, friends, and write in the comments, and which of these products do you eat? Or maybe you eat some other product every day, and want to share its benefits with us. Tell us, it will be interesting. And now, I highly recommend you to watch my other video, where I talk about what foods are harmful to eat every day. And there are a lot of surprises in this video, because some products are useful in principle, and not so bad. But if we eat them every day, then we will cause great damage to our body. A link to the video you have just appeared on the screen, as well as a link I left in the top comment, and in the description too. Be sure to take a look, it's very interesting there. And if you like this video, then like and subscribe to my channel. And we'll see you on that very video. See you later.